Thank you for that. Be prodding, yar! Ahoy! Ahoy, you landlubbers! Ahoy, Peter lubbers! Let's try that again. Ahoy, Peter lubbers! Yar, big round of applause for him. He puts this up every year. Let's see if the clicky thing works. There we go. It to be true, my name be Capt'n Colt McAnlis. I be one of the tenured speakers here at Perf Like a Pirate Day. Now, I have to ask you, by show of R's, how many of you were here for our first two pirate events? Let's hear it again. R. Nice, fantastic. For those of you who've not been here, this is a kind of weird thing, if you haven't figured that out yet. Well, I gotta thank you for coming back. We took a little hiatus between the years now, and there's reasons for that. See, with global warming and millennials and Netflix, we pirates have found it a little harder to make a pirate living. As such, we've had to find other means of employment. For example, Calico Jack is actually a senior engineer at Uber now. Our good friend Jack Sparrow is actually one of the VPs over at Avast Software. There's more of these. You should buckle in now. There's a whole lot of them. They get easier if you laugh and drink. And Madam Cheng is now, of course, a VP of a middle school in Vancouver, Canada, where they specialize in IB curriculum. Only the parents laughed at that one. Yes. You can figure out who's got wee ones, right? But don't worry about Captain Roach now. I've been on the straight and narrow. See, we started a new company called BitRum. It's a sort of digital crypto rum. It's just as good as real rum. You can buy it, you can trade it, but anytime you want to drink, you have to have 10 other pirates to confirm that you took your drink. Yes, and what we'll be talking about today is how we built our front-end infrastructure, because it's really important when you're trying to perf like a pirate that you share your journey with your favorite pirates. R, indeed. And what we hope for this is that you can hear our tale of woe and treachery and not make the same mistakes yourself. Yar. See, this is the fun part where they don't know how to respond. We do this every year. Like, the beginning of the talk, I'm like, yar? And everyone's like, does he want a yar or a nar or something like that? This is fantastic. This is why I do this, just to mess with y'all. Yar? Yar, there we go. Who still has a drink? Yar. Some people, I saw one hand, two. That's it? We need more alcohol in here. Okay, it gets funnier if you drink, trust me. So let's move on. So when we started BitRum as a service, we had a very, very simple setup. You see, we had a Node.js application running on Compute Engine. And because we needed some database processing to make sure that we knew who was drinking the rum and who was trading the rum, we put that on a MongoDB system running on another instance so that we can interface with it properly. Now, of course, as soon as we started shipping our rum around the island, we immediately needed more individuals and more ways to get our digital rum out to other people. So we added a new set of Nginx front-end instances to handle our load balancing. This way we were able to scale up, scale down, anytime our rum demand changed hands. And of course, being the fact that our MongoDB was already on another instance, all of that was able to communicate and synchronize in the proper way. Does anyone have anything that looks weird like this in your own architecture now? Yar? Yar. I'm sorry for what you're about to see then. It gets worse. So after that, being pirates that we are, we decided that we wanted to track where our rum be going. I mean, we be pirates, not anyone willing to waste a doubloon for a good adventure, right? So we put in statsd on its own compute engine instance so that all of our nodes can communicate information back to statsd, and we can get a nice, beautiful dashboard on our poop deck to figure out what's going on. That's the only poop deck joke, by the way. So if you were holding your laughs for another one, just get it out now. There's more, trust me. Eventually we needed a way to get our rum distribution network out to more people. So we had our load balancing and caching through Nginx, and we decided to add Akamai as a front-end instance. And I tell you, the people at Akamai, they're really good at the CDN performance. But I gotta tell you, they have all their hands and all their eyes and all their legs, which from the pirate level means we get to call them rookies. Rookies. Because They have all their eyes. It's going to be a long talk if you're already done with the puns, okay? I'm giving you a hint here. You need to get on board with this one. The ship's sailing. Now, because we're modern pirate developers here, we needed the ability to handle a new fleet of customers. They were more mobile, more agile. We like to call them iPods. They're whales. Okay, nice. Anyhow, so this whole new brand of mobile developers didn't need full access to our CDN. In fact, they just needed to go right to the APIs from our Node.js instances. So this caused a whole new need for rebranding and rechanging of everything we had so that we can give rum to them in the proper ways while still supporting our legacy larger ship paths of rum distribution. Why whales drink rum, I don't really know, but that's not for me to decide. Well, digital rum, they have to, anyhow. There's a blowhole joke in there somewhere, I'm sure. Anyhow, things got really complex once we realized that most of our deployments only worked for one island, right? We could transmit rum all we needed on that one island. But as soon as we needed another region, another zone, all of a sudden we had so many instances of all of these things running in different zones and different times. It was a massive amount of infrastructure just to handle our digital rum, crypto, rum, currency, rum. R. See, they're picking it up now. This is about that point in the talk where they're like, just say R, and he'll keep talking, and not make us feel awkward. That one worked. I like it. Okay. Now, in true Silicon Valley fashion, we needed some more capital to scale up. So I called my good friend Blackbeard, who had left pirating and started Blackbeard's Booty Capital Fund, where their slogan is unicorn or walk the plank. You let that sink in. Yes. And of course you see his good sidekicks there who always make sure you get your bills paid on time. Now, we pirates are sensitive to things like krakens and mutinies and the scalable costs of our deployment models. So Blackbeard made sure that if we were going to get funding from him, we needed to cut down our overhead costs and bring the number of instances we were using down to something more acceptable as a pirate. And specifically, he wanted to leverage a brand new buzzword in Silicon Pirate Valley called serverless architecture. So he wanted us to employ this to get all of our costs down. Now, I want to take a moment here and introduce you to a good friend of mine. This is Salty. Everyone say hello, Salty. Hello, Salty. Now ask him what's cracking. What's cracking? Because he's an octopus. Yeah. That one took him a while, didn't it? Yeah. No one pointed out that krakens are really squids. It's okay. Okay. No marine biologists in the crowd, I take it? That one, no. Show of hands if you know the difference in an octopus and a squid. Some of you are really embarrassed to not raise your hand right now. That's okay. We learned a little something about our audience tonight, didn't we, Salty? Yes. Anyhow, pirates don't like provisioning servers. It's not something we should be doing. So serverless for us was a fantastic ability to move forward. So first we're going to talk about how we changed our load balancers to get out of the needing for instances. Now, we were already on Google Cloud Platform, and it turns out that they have a fantastic service already called the load balancer. And of course, it gives auto load balancing to the instances you have. And it's also tied in to spin up new instances in auto scaling in a seamless way. And of course, it's a global level problem. It handles all the places that pirates like to roam. It's running on the same hardware and point of presence that Google operates its massive scalable distribution on. So for us, this was fantastic. We could actually go, and instead of using Nginx for our front ends, we can go to the load balancer as a service that they provide here. So we can get rid of this entire instance set and instance fleet in that regard. Now, Blackbeard showed us a very interesting secret of the pirate code, which I'm going to share with all of you today, but you have to swear yourself to secrecy, okay? So say, yar. Raise your yar hand. If you have a hook, raise the other one. Wait, I shouldn't be doing, that's a boy, that's something different. I don't, raise your hooks, right? And say, I vow on the pirate code not to tell anybody about this unless it helps me get promoted. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's a fun button. It's that button right there. That one, the parrot shows it. That says Enable Cloud CDN. And if you click that button when you're setting up your load balancer, all of your outbound requests are automatically cached everywhere inside of Google's entire global fleet. No matter where you are in the world or where your requester is, we take care of it on your behalf. You don't need to provision anything, set up anything, deploy anything, or touch anything. You just make sure it's the headers right. Which means that not only can we get rid of our Nginx instances, we can also get rid of using the external CDN, and we get both of those through a single load balancer as a provider service, which also means we get beautiful performance improvements like this. You can see at the front of this, the two lines here. The red one is no CDN through the load balancer, and the blue one, of course, is the CDN there. And much like you would expect to see if we have someone in the Caribbean asking for rum from a different location in the world, as soon as it's cached, performance drops down since it's Yar? Since it's closer to the requester, we get better performance out of it, which is fantastic because the instances drop down and the performance improves, and I get to keep me shiny doubloons. So, Salty, I think we need to tell the group a joke here to kind of get their spirits up. What do you say? Yeah, yar. So, what's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. Yar, yes, we've prepared them properly. They know more of these are coming. Yes. They make juice. Parrots don't make juice. Don't drink the parrot juice. It's okay, Bluebeard. It's okay. I don't mean you personally. You're a fantastic bird. Now, moving on. Now, as pirates, we have a lot of lazy cargo, things that we don't move around as often. We call this the static load of things. So we want to talk about buckets and static content. Since we've already moved over to using our load balancer, here's another pirate secret that most people don't know about. While you create it, you can actually provision different paths to fetch not only from back-end compute instances, but also from static Google Cloud Storage buckets, which means that you can upload your static information and with simple host path differences, fetch from different types of locations around the world. And once again, with our secret pirate thing that you can use to get promoted, but you can't tell anybody about it, there's another button. You click that button, and you get the same performance profile. So now you have a situation where you can serve through a single broadcast IP address, both compute engine information and cloud storage data through static and CDN across the world with no provision on your part. Yar. Hallelujah. It's different people here. Yes, this is more of a yarish group. I appreciate the try though. Yeah, no, we're more yarring. Yar. So what this means now is that we add a little static assets area that's cloud storage, and we've already cut out two main parts of our instances. So our costs are going down, our doubloons are going up. I'm sorry, what's that, Salty? Tell another pirate joke. Okay. Since you asked me. What's a pirate version of Google Glass? An eye patch. Some of you mid-R went to the groan. Yeah-R. We're trapped here until we laugh, aren't we? Yes, you are. We gave you the free booze. You gotta laugh at the jokes. So let's talk about logging statistics. Of course, we're pirates. We want to know where our doubloons be going. We want to do this in a correct fashion here. So now, as talked about in the previous talk, there's a fantastic tool suite inside of Google Cloud Platform that allows you to send statistics and gain information. And this, of course, is Google Stackdriver. We can set up monitoring, alerting. All of our requests are profiled, broken down, described, alerted, sent to us, anointing us, giving us more information, knocking us over, picking us up, fighting the good fight, hitting the bullseye, collecting of the dominoes, knocking down the house of cards. Checkmate.
To go on.
It does all of these things for us. And the most important part, again, ye not be provisioning any servers to do it. It's running completely as a service. All you have to do from any of your instances is hit the proper REST-based APIs or other APIs, and we handle everything on your behalf. Which means that we can move our entire StatsD process out into the water and apparently also make it a mermaid. I don't know what that one's about, but there we go. So now we start to see, for the first time, a little bit more movement off of the mainland into more agile, into more serverless concepts that can move and flow and change as provision needs be happening. Clicky. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. This is the thing here. So what's that, Salty? It's time for another joke. Do you think they're ready for it? I don't know. That didn't sound like they were ready for it. There you go. So why don't pirates take showers before they walk the plank? Because they just wash up on shore later. Yes, I know. High tentacle. There you go. That's nice. You're grown now. You're going to tell these jokes later. Don't act like you're not going to. Tomorrow you're going to be like, we saw this crazy pirate guy and he said something. Here, let me tell you the joke. You're going to take credit for it. I know it. That's why I'm making you suffer for it now. Let's talk about databases. Worst transition ever. Now, since we store our shipment information in the MongoDB database, we have it on its own instance, right? So we need to make sure that the API to it does some filtering and provisioning and sanitization checking before it actually gets to the MongoDB database. And all of our instances, of course, scale and hit this one API in the proper way. But it turns out that Google Cloud Platform has a database as a service that doesn't require us to host any of those instances ourselves as well. Now, there's actually a couple versions of these. There's the global scale one that does everything, including the kitchen sink and everything you could want at the very highest production level, a new service called Spanner. But for our simple pirate needs, we're just going to use Cloud Data Store, which allows us to create relational type databases, much like we'd see with MongoDB. But again, we be provisioning no servers ourselves. It entirely operates on its own, which means our DB system can now become serverless as well. So at the first time, we're now starting to see that these systems which are serverless are no longer bound to specific regions or islands which we may be operating on. Regardless of which zone or region or continent we may be deploying our architecture and shipping our RUM, we can get access to our database systems, our Stackdriver systems, and apparently iPods in the middle there without having to worry about zone-specific data. That's all handled behind Google Cloud Platform and the serverless architecture that's built there. No, Salty. I think they're done with the pirate jokes. They're almost there. Keep coming. A little bit more. They sound like zombie pirates. Arr. It's like, we're not at Halloween yet. Don't give up. All right, let's try it one. Give me one big yar. There we go. All right. Why are pirates bad negotiators? Because they can't see eye to eye. They actually liked that one. I made that one up myself. Kind of proud of that. Captain, high tentacle. Yes. Okay. Yes. Low tentacle. Come on down. Go on. Nope. Okay. Anyhow, moving on to compute. Watch your mouth, sir. That be salty, ye be. You've insulted the salty. So our current compute work is actually running on a Node.js system on Compute Engine, which scales appropriately given the fact that we've got the load balancer in front of it. But as we were investigating the aisle of the load balancer, we noticed some interesting things. That Google Cloud Platform has had serverless versions of compute for quite a long time now. Give me a yar if you're familiar with Google App Engine. Yar, fantastic process, and it actually supports a lot of different languages, including Node.js. So this was an excellent option for us. However, there was a new thing announced this year, which is Google Cloud Functions. Are you familiar with this, Yar? Yar. And Google Cloud Function not only runs JavaScript and Node.js, but it also has direct bindings to things like mobile and Firebase, and allows you to do other interesting things, like get instant triggers anytime a new file is uploaded to a Google Cloud Storage bucket. It's sort of our one-stop solution for things. And here's where it gets really interesting. Oh, now that's just anticlimactic. There we go. Turns out the output of Google Cloud Functions is automatically CDN'd as well. Now, Google Cloud Functions is a functions as a service, which means there is no provisioning, and it's global, based upon whatever types of requests you send to it. And the output is automatically cached on the CDNs as well, which means not only do we get all of these features, but we can get rid of our existing load balancer systems that we just introduced not but 10 slides ago. And move it out to sea as well. So now we have all of our great, awesome systems out in a serverless architecture. And we can see that this is the now new open future for our pirate fleet. We were able to cut down our instances, raise our doubloon count, keep everybody happy, and old Blackbeard was just so tickled pink. He actually cashed out his investment in Bitrum, and he actually now owns Blackbeard's Airbnb. You're welcome. Thank you for your time, everybody. I really appreciate it.